Check out lifeafterservicecoaching.com for free educational content and coaching for women veteran entrepreneurs. Hi, everybody. This is Rolanda Sumner, Life After Service Transitional Coaching, and I am on the phone with Christopher Porter. He is a financial advisor. He specializes in business credit, which is a niche I haven't ever heard of. Today, he's going to teach us what we need to know to establish good financial credit, how to avoid some common mistakes, and if we have enough time, how to get funding for our businesses. So without further ado, how are you, Chris?
Hi, how are we doing, Ms. Rolanda?
Good.
Awesome. I am so honored to be here. And I just first want to say to you and all of those who are listening that are from the military, thank you for your service. We are all proud and God bless you all for it. So I wanted to start by saying that. A little bit about myself. I work for my own company called Porter Financial Consulting, and I've been doing that for over 2 years now. And we're under an umbrella company called Credit Suite. And what we do is we help people get funding for their businesses, even with poor personal credit. You can be a startup, you can be an existing business, nonprofit, franchises, and even real estate investments. So that's what we do. We have a step-by-step program in which we help you get from where you are, which may be a person who doesn't have the money to get into business, or you may be brand new and don't think the banks will accept you, or you may have questionable credit and still think the banks will turn you down. We're here to say that those reasons are not good enough for us. We are going to get you funding you need for your business. So saying all that, I talked with you earlier and we wanted to talk a little bit about credit, consumer credit versus personal credit. So to start with consumer credit, a lot of people don't understand credit very well. Consumer credit, we all think is those scores we see on our credit report, and whether you got a 750 or 850, you think or 800, you think that that may be good credit. But what people don't understand is there's other kinds of credit that are also taken into consideration. And somebody who has a 750 credit score can't understand why you took it down for a mortgage or a car loan. And that is because there are companies out there, credit reporting bureaus out there outside of Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. I wanted to run them down real quickly for you and let people know. What I would also suggest to people is the companies, the bureaus that I named, please go look into them, get copies. They're obligated to give you copies of their reports. Some may charge, some are free, but you are obligated to, they're obligated to give you a copy of the reports because you don't know what they know, and they're reporting to the other creditors that were turning you down. So, like I said, we all know there are other companies, there are other bureaus out there. For example, there's a company called Innovis, Innovis. Innovis collect information, fraud detection, and fraud prevention, and people look into them to see if there's any type of fraudulent behavior that you might have or been involved with. There's also a big one called LexisNexis. And LexisNexis is one of the world's largest electronic databases for legal and public information. And they'll have on file things like your mother's maintenance judgments, or liens, or any type of licenses or bankruptcies that you might have. What I would suggest is when you go there and you see things like this, put a freeze, request a freeze on these companies because you don't want other people looking into your personal business. LexisNexis, LEXISNEXS, LexisNexis. It's like one of the big ones. There's another one called Sage Stream. They focus on specifically on, believe it or not, just in target age of 18 to 34. Um, and a lot of young people don't have car payments or car notes, but they do have things like telephones. And they check to see are you late on your wireless bills, things of that nature. So you may want to look into Sage Stream, SAGE Stream. And then there's another one, Check System. And some people might have heard them. Check System is a banking type of credit bureau. So if you've had problems in the past, banks and life has gone on and left a negative balance in there, never paid it, well, they're going to check that on Check System. You can also freeze that. Check Systems is CHEX, SYSTM, Check Systems. So, there are other credit reporting bureaus out there that people need to look into to make sure that things are clear, they understand what everybody else is looking at on their credit report. The other things are there's two real major types of credit. There's FICO and then there's Advantage. Just to break it down rather quickly, FICO is the one you want to pay attention to because over 90% of creditors use FICO scoring as opposed to the other Advantage scoring. They really don't pay attention to it. I don't even know why it still exists. So you may want to check your FICO scores. Now, here's a good thing to do. If you don't know what's on your consumer credit report, you can go to a company website called creditchecktotals.com, total.com, www.creditchecktotal, THECKS, creditchecktotal.com. There for $1 down, 7-day free trial. They will give you all three copies of the main ones, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Go there, check it out. It's a 7-day free trial. You do what you want. You can stay on. I think it's somewhere between $19.95 and $29.95 after 7 days. You can cancel anytime before the 7 days is up. Some people do that. They get the download the information for the credit reports and then cancel. I'm not suggesting that to anybody, but some people do that. So go there. If you haven't seen your credit reports recently, go there and get the three credit reports and look it over clearly to see if there are any inaccuracies on them. So that's personal credit or consumer credit. And I would also suggest that if you do have something to dispute, just some tidbits real quick. Never dispute on the phone and never on the phone in person. Never dispute the online. Don't do any of those things. You've got issues, whatever they are, certainly send that information, your disputes to either the creditors and or the credit reporting agencies via certified mail. That's important. And not only do you send it, never sign your signature, your physical signature to anything. If you got to type it in. Never sign it because, they can take that information and if you end up going to court or something, they're going to send that to the judge and let the judge look at your handwriting. Just to let you know. But every piece of correspondence that you do with the credit reporting agencies, always do it by certified mail. It guarantees that you have documentation to say, I sent this letter to them and they signed for it. So I just wanted to give those tidbits out there to let people know about consumer credit and some things you can take right now into your own power to take control of your credit. Okay, scoring is anywhere from 300 to 850. A good score is 720 and higher, just to let you know. Saying that's not my strength. I know about it, but my strength is business credit. And are you ready for me to go into that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Now I wrote down all of the links for Lexis Nexus, check systems, and credit check total. So you guys, when this is done, go ahead and look into the show notes and click on those links so you can start checking out your personal and consumer credit. But the purpose of this call was to do the business credit, and he wanted to share with us the difference between the both, because I'm not going to lie to you, when I first saw business credit, I didn't really realize the difference. Like I knew, I didn't even know how to establish it. I
Mm-hmm.
knew it had to do with some numbers, but I'm like, okay, well, they don't need my social security number.
Well,
So I'm so happy you're here.
no problem, no problem. There is a major difference on business credit and consumer credit. The first major difference is what you're trying to accomplish. Um, if you're looking to build your business uh, quickly, you can do that uh, with business credit. Uh, Lenders respect business credit over consumer credit because it's all business. So they want to see what you've done as far as paying your bills on time. So it's more respected. It's a faster way of building credit, and it's a more effective way. So what I wanted to mention is some statistics here. 75% of all business owners go to friends and family, and that's that's just a tough way to have to start your business. It's really tough.
Yeah.
From the Department of Revenue, only 1.2% of business loans and finance actually comes from conventional banks. The other 98% come from alternative lenders. The other thing that a lot of people don't understand is the being turned down. I would say almost 85 to 90% of all small loan applicants are rejected by
Mm.
they're turned down. And you were asking me about tidbits. Well, I'm going to give you something really, some tidbits here about why people are turned down by the banks when they're applying for loans. And the first thing
Okay.
you would think is, what do you think, Ms. Sumner, would be the number one reason why people are rejected by
They don't have enough collateral.
no? I'm going to say this. When we did our training
Okay.
a while back, we got our COO of our parent company, Miss Megan Christensen. She worked for Wells Fargo Bank small lending division, and small business lending division. And she did that for about 15 years, and she had to turn down some really wonderful people. And what she said is she could not tell them how to work on their business information to make it more apropos to be able to get a loan. And she said something that stuck to my craw, and I want people to remember this. This comes from her in charge nationally of small business lending. She said, lenders look to disqualify you rather than qualify you. I'm going to go now on some tidbits as to why. Okay. You told me about some things that you had in for your business, and I want to know if people know this. The number one red check mark that you're going to see for your business would be business name. Okay? It actually can,
Really?
yeah, it actually can because there's something called SIC code, which pretty much says what industry your business is in. So if you have
Mm-hmm.
something in your name like credit, uh, like some sort of credit help, credit program, some sort of credit repair is what I'm trying to say. If you have something like credit repair, if you have something that says something like money, like the old record company, money, cash money industry, these are check marks.
Uh-huh.
They represent risky industries. Anything that might sound like pornography, it's all check marked as risky loans. And so one thing you may want to do is to make sure that your name checks correctly with the proper industry, or you could get disqualified just on your name alone. Now, you said you had an EIN number. EIN number, for those who don't know, is an employee identification number. I break it very, very
Mm-hmm.
simple. It's a social security number for business. Okay, it identifies for the federal government exactly your business, period. And
Okay.
you can't get a loan without an EIN number. You can't open a bank account. You can't do any of those things. So what you need to do, if you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
don't have it, is you need to go to www.irs.gov. And I'm going to say that a couple times, www.irs.gov, because when you go onto those sites, you'll see a whole bunch of different websites that are very, very similar to it, but they'll charge you. The government does not charge you. Your EIN number is 100% free. You go there, go on their site, pump in your personal information, and then your social security number and the name of your business, and within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they will have a downloadable number for you, and then they'll send you another in the mail 5 to 10 business days later, the official letter. You can take that and immediately go to the bank and open up your business bank account. www.irs.gov, because anybody who's charging you is ripping you off. The government is free. Okay? So you've got your name checked, you've got your EIN checked. Now, do you have your entity number? Did you go register your business with the state? I want to say something very quickly because you can register as doing business as, you can register as a sole proprietorship, a partnership, subchapter S corporation, subchapter C corporation, 501c3, which is nonprofit status, or LLC, limited liability corporation, or limited liability domestic partnership and things. A lot of people ask all the time when I do presentations and things, what's the difference between the groups? It's very simple. I break it down to you. It's lawsuits. Okay? If you have a
Yeah.
partnership or a partnership, you're saying that I am responsible for my business. Okay? So imagine, if you owned a hair salon and one of your employees burns an individual and they get upset, leave, go get a lawyer and sue you for $50,000 and they win in court, well, they have the right not only to take your business, but they can take your house, satisfy the debt, they can take your car, your furniture, even your bank account. Whereas in most cases, you have the other ones, they can only sue the assets of the company, of your business. So they can sue whatever you own as far as chairs, furniture, building, if maybe, but they can't usually go after the assets. Now that's not 100% clear. A lot of people think like if you have an LLC, a limited liability corporation, that you can't be sued, and that's not. It depends on what state you live in. So I would check your state wherever you decide to set up your business entity at, and make sure that you understand the laws governing LLCs, because there's some states that will allow people to sue not only your business assets, but your private assets. So that's important that you understand. The biggest difference is lawsuits. I'm not going to tell you what to choose. They all have their different things, but you're going to be sued personally if you decide to go trouble.
Now a word from our affiliates. Recently, I've gotten an increase in clientele, which means there's a lot more work to do in a short period of time. Dubsado has helped me manage my client list seamlessly. Dubsado helps me run my business with less running. I manage projects, build client relationships, schedule appointments, and create workflows to automate the entire process. Dubsado is a business management platform built to save you time and grow your business. To receive 20% off your first month, visit the link below. If you followed me for any amount of time, you'll know that I absolutely love G Suite. G Suite is a Google cloud-based platform that allows me to connect, create, access, and control my business in one place and for an affordable rate. Everything I need is just in one package. I reach my colleagues wherever they are. I create everything I need to bring my projects and my business to life. I access stored files and find what I need instantly. And I manage users, devices, and data security easily. To receive 20% off your business or basic plan, follow the link below. Now let's get back to the program.
Then after you got the entity number, DUNS number. A lot of people don't know what that is. I talk with you. DUNS number basically, just to be overly simplistic, is if you can imagine a house with the address on the house, that's the DUNS number. A DUNS number was created by Dun & Bradstreet, which is three of the major business credit reporting agencies. There's Dun & Bradstreet, there's Experian Business, and then there's Equifax Business. Dun is the biggest one, and that represents where your business is located. Understand lending here when it comes to where your address is, your business address is. If you're using a mailbox, you can forget it. They're not going to lend you any mailbox, post office box, whatever you want to call it. Banks are not going to lend that to you. If your business is a home-based business, residential, there's about a 70% chance they're not going to lend you the money. Banks do not like to lend money to home-based businesses. They don't feel comfortable giving $50,000 to somebody's home address. The only thing left is commercial. Now, let's say you don't have a commercial building. You can do what's called virtual addresses. Virtual addresses are companies that rent out those giant high rises in the main cities. And you can get an office there. If you want to use it, you can just use the address of it. And that will be your home business that will, satisfy the lenders. One of the things I wanted to say on Dun & Bradstreet, this is one of the big things that separates business credit from personal credit. Dun & Bradstreet will actually show via Google Map exactly where you say your business is located. Right there, a picture right there.
Oh.
Yeah, right there on the credit report, business credit report. It will have a little snapshot of where you say your business is located. So you're not going to be able to fool anybody when you say, I have a commercial building and you're actually using a mailbox. And you're not fooling anybody, right? So there's some major differences in business credit and consumer credit. That's one of those things. So that's important. The other thing is you need to make sure that you have your local business licenses and other documents and stuff. Now, here's where it starts to get hairy. These are the little tidbits why people get turned down. Have you noticed I've not brought up your what? Your personal credit. Have I? You notice that? Well,
No.
that's because it's not necessary to turn you down. Telephone.
Okay.
Your business phone. When I asked how many of you guys have a business phone, people raised their hand. I said, well, how many of you have a local number? Some people raised their hand. I said, how many of you have a national?
Mm-hmm.
Some people raised their hand. I'd say, how many of you have both? Very few people raised their hand. You know what I said to everybody? That's a red checkbook. You need to have both a local and a national, because it goes to credibility.
Okay, so you need to have an 800 number and a local number.
Right. It goes to credibility. Lenders want to see how credible your business is. Okay, and if you don't have one, they don't think your business is very credible. So you're going to need to. There's companies out there. If you're doing the virtual address, there are companies like Alliance that'll do virtual, Surf, or Focus. Those are companies that do virtual addresses. They will usually give you a local number. If you're interested in getting a national number, there's companies like Ring Central. Is somewhere around $25, $30 a month. Here's another thing. If I had to ask you, when do you think the lenders, what would be the starting date of your business for the lenders? You recognize that your business is officially started. When do you
the day of your business license, the date that you get your articles of existence is established?
No. Here's the deal.
No.
I'm giving you tidbits to let you know why you get turned down. I mean, there's a reason why 85%
Yeah.
get turned down, and a lot of these people have excellent credit. This is why. The day the business officially recognized your business, the lenders officially recognize your business is starting, is the day you open your business bank account. Excuse me. Yeah, that's when they recognize it.
Wow.
And so if you say
And that could be a very different date.
yes, I'm about to say, if you say they ask you when did your business officially start, and you said a year ago, and they ask you, well, when did you open your business bank account? And you say it was 6 months ago. They're going to say you started your business 6 months ago. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you haven't opened your business bank account, get it started. Let me say this about business bank accounts. Banks have internal scoring systems. And it's not just with bounce check, it's how often you deposit your money in the bank. Um, as far as business deposits are concerned, it is also how
Mhm.
you maintain your balance and things of that nature. They score you on that. It's internal. If you don't think that banks don't talk to each other, then you're applying for loans, you're kidding yourself. So if you apply with Wells Fargo and but your business account is with TD Bank, they may call TD Bank just to see how you rate with TD Bank, just to let you know. That would be a reason to turn that. But that is one of the things.
Wow.
It gets worse than that. How about this? If I was to say, do you have a professional email? What would you tell me?
It's my info at mybusinessname.com.
Good. And I'm going to tell you something. One thing I was only concerned with was the last your .com. If you have at Yahoo, Bing, Outlook, Gmail, those are not recognized as a credible business email. They
Mhm.
only look at .com, .net, .org. Like I said, it goes back to credibility. And so if you don't have that, you need to go to like GoDaddy or something and buy a .com or .net or .org uh, email and get a professional license, a professional email, because they do not recognize that. You can get them. It's not really expensive. There's some as low as $1.99. The other thing is, if I ask you, do you have a website? Obviously you do. If you don't, that goes against you. It goes against you because they don't view you as a credible business if you don't have a website. Let me go back to something too about the phones. If I was to say, Ms. Sumner, are you listed with 411?
No,
Okay, let me tell you
I'm
something.
not.
Major, major red flag. One of the bigger red flags because they
Does
don't
anybody
do.
even use 411 anymore?
Yeah, because it's a national business directory. And so they're so brazen that you could sit in front of the lender's desk and he'll ask you that question. And if you say, I think I do, they'll call right there in front of you and to find out if you're listed with 411. Yes. So you're going to have to get on and list your business with 411 directory because that's a major red flag. They don't view you as credible if you're not on the national business directory. You know?
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yes. And I got one
I
last
would have
one.
never thought of 411. Like nobody ever uses that.
Yeah. Well, again, this is the bottom
Wow.
line. The banks really don't want to be bothered with 25, 50, $75,000. And
Yeah.
consumer advocates have put pressure on the banks to open it up to lend more businesses to consumers. And they've gotten around it by saying,
Hmm.
okay, we'll lend more to the average consumer, but they need collateral. So, if you want $100,000 loan or you're going to put your house up or you'll find that all the time. You got another property that's going to help you. And so that's their way of getting around it. They want to deal with the $500,000 mortgage for 30 years. They don't want to be bothered with us. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want the five, six, $7 million loan from some major trucking company or something like that. It's just like our COO said. It is looking to disqualify you rather than qualify you. Because they just find us to be a bother, you know. So and here it's really sad and it's frustrating. But here's the worst of it all. I was talking to our financial officer, and he said, "Chris, let me look at your personal business or your business information." And he's looking at my business information. He goes, "Uh oh." I say, "Uh oh, what?" Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this. He said, "Well, this is my old business address," but he goes, "On your, I think it was my EIN number." He goes, "Your EIN is listed as Porter Financial Consultant." I'm from Philadelphia. So it goes, Porter Financial Consultant, 1700 Market, comma, Market Street, comma, Suite STE 1005, Philadelphia, full name, comma, PA, no dot, 19014. I said, okay, well, it's no problem. He said, there is a problem because on your, I think it was my banking information, it was Porter Financial Consultant dot 1700 Market Street, comma, Suite SUITE dot, Philly PHILA dot, comma, PA dot 19014. I said, well, what's the problem? He said, they don't match up. I said, well, he said, that is their excuse to say, we don't know if that's the same business. So all of your documentation has to line up exactly correctly. Whether it's EIN or DUNS or banking, all of it has to be uniform to the dot because they will look to disqualify you. And that's what I learned from them. I mean, so I had to go back and redo through my state in Pennsylvania a change of address just to be able to match up with all of my other stuff. So those are why people get turned down. That's 85 to 90% get turned down. It's because they're looking to disqualify you. It's bizarre, but it's sad, you know, because there's a lot of good people with good credit who get turned down. So those are my tidbits. I didn't go too long on it, but those are my tidbits on.
No, those are great tips because I would have never thought like you need a national 800 number or you had to be on 411 that nobody ever uses. Well, I'm like, what? What do you mean? I thought that your personal credit had something to do with your business credit. So those things right there, it never dawned on me that they would pick something outside of your actual credit worthiness to disqualify you.
And none of those are your personal credit I mentioned. They don't have to go to your personal credit to disqualify. So those are the things I would suggest people do. You know, make sure that all of those things, those tidbits are met, your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. So they can't turn you down for those specific reasons. I mean, if you don't have great credit, yeah, they can turn you down, you know, but they don't usually have to do that. So you're going to have to make sure that you walk a fine line to be able to say, now you're going to need to look at what I'm offering here or requesting here for my business loan. So those are the things that I would suggest. Real quick, you know, my company deals with this, but just in case people wanted to know, these are institutions that can help you with loans and things of that nature and funding. So if you have a minority business, there's a Union Bank. They'll give you lines of credit up to $50,000, but you have to be in business a minimum of 2 years, and the revenue generated has to be less than $15 million. There's the National Minority Supplier Council that helps you get certified as a MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, connects you with opportunities to network, and also allows you access to working capital. SBA 8A helps minority-owned business develop and grow. Also the same with women with these two. Counseling management guidance qualifies you for SBA 7A working capital loans. You know, there's the U.S. Department of Minority Business Agency, MBBA, Minority Business Development Agency, Axion, ACCION USA can give you loans up to $50,000 to help your business. For women's businesses, I really focused on grants here. A lot of people that want grants, but I wanted to say that women business counts for 40% of all businesses in America right now, and 1 of 5 businesses generating over $1 million a year are women-owned businesses. So for grants for business, there's a listing here real quick. There's Zion's, ZIONS, Zion Smart Bank Smart Women Smart Money. They'll give you $3,000. Women Veterans Entrepreneur Corp, Small Business Competition, Huggy Brand Mom Inspired Grants up to $15,000. FedEx Think Bigger, get a portion of $75,000. Ideas Cafe Business Grant up to $1,000. Chase Google Mission Main Street Project grants up to $150,000. Innovate Her, Innovate All Women Challenge sponsors at the SBA type loan or grant, that's $30,000. There's crowdfunding by agencies from Plum Alley, Women 2.0, Moolah Hoop, Axion USA. If you're in Delaware, Delaware Access Program, Garmin, GARMEN Bank of New York, and there's also the Women's Economic Ventures, so that's state specific. And if you're a veteran, there's things such as the Military Reserves Economic Injury Disaster Loans, that's an SBA. There's SBA Express, that's loans up to $50,000 line of credit for up to 7 years. Patriot Express, that's a loan up to $500,000, and you don't need to show collateral up to the first $350,000. So I want to make sure that your audience is listening, and hopefully some will take advantage of those opportunities out there. You know, go if you're looking at real estate, go to HUD. HUD has a million different ways of helping you get funding for purchasing buildings or apartment complexes and things of that nature.
You guys make sure you go on his website, and he's gonna tell us how to reach him, but go on his website and download the free ebook. It's called Establishing Business Credit Without Using Your Social Security Number. It's going to come straight to your email once you sign up for it. And it's a good source, but he's going to tell us how we can reach him. And I suggest you do so.
Well,
because he's shared information with us that no one else has ever said before. And I've been to the SBA financial classes, the lending classes, and the bankers never mentioned half of what you did.
Well, you know, that's what we do. And like I said, thank God the person that trained us, she worked in the banking industry, so she knows the secrets. She knows their little secrets of how they go about it and deal with it. But to say, if you're interested in working with us, we do a step-by-step process in order to help people get business loans. You know, didn't talk about it, but I wanted to make sure people got those tidbits. You know, acquiring business credit as opposed to just going out there and using personal credit and building that resume of business credit. So when the banks do look for your resume, what kind of interactions have you had, your business had, you'll have a listing of all kinds of business credit from vendors such as Quill, Uline, and others, to revolving credit, which would include Walmart, Staples, Macy's, Dell, to cash and credit lines such as business visas and MasterCard, American Express, gas cards, Shell, BP, Conoco, even car financing. We do that, and we just present the banks a huge resume. By the time you're done, usually it takes about 5 to 7 months. I'm conservative here. We've done it in as little as 90 days, but I've not, so I don't speak on it very much. But, you know, we work hard to build a resume to take to the bank based on your business credit. And like I said earlier, that's the one that they respect the most when you go into a business. So it's how you've done with other people. And once you do that, then we can say, you know what, Miss Sumner's looking to open up that boutique up the corner. She needs $35,000. Here's her resume. This is what, and because we've worked with over 15,000 clients throughout the country since 2014, we have never had one complaint filed against us with the BBB, which we have an A+ rating. We have been in Forbes, Fortune, Inc., Entrepreneur, USA Today, or we've appeared on the Fox News Network. Our CEO, our company, Credit Suite Inc., our CEO, Mr. Todd Crandall, has gotten us to the point where we were just in December issue, if you'd like to go back, named to one of the best entrepreneurial companies in America, 2018. And we are very credible. We have a whole host of testimonials. We have all kinds of magazines we can show you that we're in. And we just do it to get people involved. But if you'd like to contact me personally, you can go to our website, www.porterfinancialconsultant.net, and you can give me a call, 888-510-3370.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, ladies, if you're looking for the tips that he just gave us, it's in that free ebook that's on his website. So the business address, the business listing, 411 listing, all of that information, the fax number, website, all of that information is in the ebook. He's going to send me a separate email with the funding, and I'll put that in the show notes. But make sure you get that business ebook so that you can take steps forward to get yourself ready for business credit. Thank you so much, Chris. This was so informative, and I learned a lot in this phone call.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Life After Service podcast, the podcast that dramatically empowers women veterans to claim their autonomy, independence, and personal accountability through the military transition to entrepreneurial process. To be a guest on the podcast, please visit lifeafterservicecoaching.com, click on blog, then be our guest.